Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. I was doing some gel printing the other day with a friend and I created like 30 prints. It was kind of crazy, but it was a lot of fun because I have wanted to do a little bit more collage lately, and I just thought it'd be fun to get like a good stash of gel prints ready to go. And you can let me know if you'd be interested in another gel printing video. I do have some on my channel, but I could do another one, maybe a live session or something. I don't know. Just let me know if that's something you would watch. And it was fun. I worked on some cardstock, and I also did some deli papers because these are really nice for collaging. And also, I have so much of it. I ordered a set, like a box of it. I ordered one box of deli paper from Sam's. It was probably like 10 years ago, and they sent me 5 boxes, and they were like 100 sheets each. And I'm like giving deli paper to friends. I'm using it to wrap sandwiches. And I still have so much. And I really want to try the wet strength tissue paper, but it's really expensive, and I've got so much deli paper, and I don't think it's probably all that different, so I really had to use that. But I'm just flipping through some of the ones that I made, because I don't know, I thought you might find it interesting to see what we do with the tools that I'm going to organize today. So I was picking up today because I had a bunch of stencils that were just lying out. I generally don't wash my stencils every time I use them, but some of them had gotten really, I'd use some spray inks too, and they just need to be washed, or the stuff would come out on the next project. And the stuff had been laying out to dry in here, so I was putting around today and picking stuff up. I like that one a lot. And I thought, well, why don't I organize the big box of tools that a lot of it's found objects and things like that. Because I like how that one came out. Look at the shimmer on this. I used some of the Arteza, it's like metallic, but it's like an interference metallic, so it looks like green one way, purple the other. It's really kind of cool. Anyway, I thought that I would go through and organize, because I know I have a lot of just trash in there now, that it's like, really, do I need to keep all of that? And then I thought, well, Lindsay, why don't you just put the camera on? This will be a nice little studio sesh. Sometimes it's nice if you're organizing something in your studio, if you put a video on where somebody else is cleaning too, it makes you feel not quite so alone. And so let's do it. This is the box. This is the box of stuff. So we're gonna look in here. It's probably about a 12-inch by 12-inch chipboard type of box. It kind of like snap together. And I've had this for years, and I just add to it. So I've got some stuff in here that doesn't belong in here. Namely, I've got a piece of fun foam that doesn't belong in here. I probably had cut off a piece and used it to make a stamp. But this doesn't need to live in here. That can go with the rest of my fun foam. I also, on the same line, I have some bath blocks and just pieces of cut up like foam kneeling pad, like gardening pads. And you're probably thinking, Lindsay, that's trash, throw it away. But let me tell you, what I do with this stuff is I will heat it up with a heat tool, and I'll press a texture mat. I'll press it on something textured, and then it's a stamp. So, and I figured I could do kind of like some quilting type designs with these things on the gel plate. So I think I grabbed this at either Dollar Tree or the dollar spot at Target. It was like $1 wherever I got it. So it's just kind of a handy thing. You can use them plain, you can heat them up and impress them on something. They're kind of like the pen score, or what was it called? Magic Stamp, or the new Simon Hurley one. It's the same stuff. It's basically just a foam. I don't know if I need to keep this one because this isn't, well, I do have a fairly good shape there. I don't know. I don't know if that needs to be in this box. And then because I did start to go through and organize, so some of this is not super disorganized, but I've got some texture plates here. So this is what I would heat up the foam block. I'd press it on a texture plate, and then I could stamp on whatever. And then you wipe off the block to clean it. So there are just some textures, some wood grains, some pebbles, just different things. You could also put paper over it and do crayon rubbings. I can't remember if this was purchased for clay or crayon rubbings or what. I've got a piece of plastic canvas to use for texture. And so I might want to keep my texture stuff elsewhere. But this is kind of like all grungy stuff I'm not afraid of getting paint on. I also have these rubber stamps that I don't tend to want to use for stamping. They're definitely more of something I would use for texture in clay or in printmaking, so they can stay in here. These are clay texture mats. They're from the Makin's Clay line of polymer clay. But I never really liked using it for that. I prefer to use my rubber stamps and my polymer clay. So I figured these would be good for this. And this is another one of those. And then I have this. These are These are meant for like metal foil, but you could also use them for clay or for, I haven't used them yet, but they have alphabet and special characters and number designs. So I do have some colored foil and architecture foil for projects like that, but I'm much more likely to use them in clay or with the jelly plate. So again, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should put these in a different, maybe I should put the texture things in a different thing. I'm not sure. I also have some foam stamps, so I'm going to put all the foam stamps together. This one's really great. It's like a dahlia type design, a spiral. Got this kind of like ornament here. Checkerboard's always good. I'm sure I'm going to find some here that I'm not likely to use. Oh, this one's fun. I use this a lot. It's kind of like a mod polka dot. Oh, feathers are always good. When I'm looking, I usually pick these up, like 29 cents. I'll pick these up at places like the clearance section of Michael's or Joann's or Martin's, which is a local discount store, or even Dollar Tree, any place. These foam stamps just work so well. You can even take this foam stamp, stamp it on a texture, then stamp it on your gel plate. You know, there's lots of different things you can do to get a variety with those. And this was a roller I picked up somewhere, I don't know, some craft store, but again, it's just a foam roller. And of course you can make your own too. Here are some handmade stamps. This was like leftover, I don't know if this was like maybe from a display where they sold foam paintbrushes. I'm not sure. This one was the little rings that come in a like your brush pens, the Altenew brush pens, and I just saved them and hot glued them to a piece of mat board so I could make another little offset polka dot stamp. So again, I'll put them, they're not foam, so I'll put them elsewhere. Got some other little foam ones. This one's a rubber stamp, but I thought it might be more useful for gel printing, but it's kind of actually bent a little bit. I think this one was designed for stamping on fabric because it's so bold, and it's a rubber stamp, so I'll set that in its own category. This was a silicone brush cleaning, like you're supposed to suction cup it to your sink and clean your makeup brushes on it. You could also suction cup it to your water dish and clean your paintbrushes on it, but I was using it for just stamping onto my plate. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of tired today. I feel fine, but I kind of also feel like maybe I'm coming down with something, so I'm just kind of tired. This is if you go to like the Dollar Tree, you can find these Betty Crocker silicone spatulas, and I cut a few of them down for gel printing, like to be able to draw on the gel print and not worry about like scratching the plate. And then these are awful. These combs are so low quality and crap, but because they're not really stiff, they will mark a jelly plate perfectly without damaging them. So that's why I threw that in here, because it wasn't going to be used on my head, that's for sure. And then I got a little basting brush that's also, actually I tend to use this more with resin, but I have one for resin, so I don't know how useful this is. Maybe this might be not going back in. This is some bubble wrap that came from Scrapbook Pal, and I think it was Scrapbook Pal, or Stationery Pal? Maybe it was Stationery Pal, but it's heart-shaped bubble wrap, and this makes the coolest prints. I showed you some at the beginning of the video. So that's definitely staying. I maybe don't need that much of it, but orange slice, that's fun for wrapping paper. Oh, these would be really good for wrapping paper too. Even if I didn't want to get the gel plate out, I could still stamp wrapping paper. And I don't buy much wrapping paper because I generally I'll make a handmade card and I'll give a gift card in it, or I'll give some cash in a cute handmade card where I'll do a slimline card and decorate a bookmark and put that on there and give cash. I know I'm lame, but I don't want to waste money, and I want to give something to somebody that's not going to clutter and can be used. And then I can make a card, and that can be the handmade part of it, or make a box or something. I like those kind of 50s mod atomic era designs, so that's one of those. This stencil here is a darkroom door stencil, and I think I would definitely use this more with a jelly plate, more as a mask than as a stencil, to make like a big masterboard type or a big print with Christmas motifs, and then cut them up and use them for like money holder covers or cards or something. So that's a stencil that I wouldn't use as a regular stencil. I'd use it in the jelly plate. So I'm going to have a stencil pile over there. Oh my gosh, more bath blocks. Oh, and you can see what I meant. What I was talking about, like using them as a stamp. Can you see that like basket weave texture there? I had a It was one of the embossing plates, of Fisker's embossing plates, and I just heated it up and pressed it on there. And I'll do this a lot with my embossing folders because I don't want to press my embossing folders themselves on the plate because they'll get all painty, and then if I use them for a card making project, they'll get like remnants of acrylic paint on my cardstock. I don't want that to happen. So to be able to take those textures and use them as stamps, I will press the foam in that, and then use it. You can see a bunch of these have textures on them, and you just heat them up either with a light bulb or a heat tool, and you're good to go again. So those will go with my foam blocks. You can actually do that to these foam stamps as well. You can heat them up, press them on something, and then add another texture to them. You know, these are thinner, so you do run a little risk of damaging them, so just keep that in mind, but you can do it with those. This is how those spatulas come, if you're wondering, if you don't cut them up. And if you want to clean these and it's a pain, you can always take some like packing tape and press it down on the silicone surface and peel it up. You can also clean off dried stuff on your gel plate that way too. And then you can use the tape as like an embellishment. I'll get some more texture plates there. Another Christmas stencil that is by Darkroom Door. They're going out of business. Unfortunately, the owner passed away, and her husband or partner is like going to be selling the company or liquidating the stock. This is another texture plate. I love this honeycomb. This is a really good one for a lot of different things. And then we got a bunch of handmade things here. So what I did was I took my decorative scissors and some fun foam. This is fun foam again, by the way, this stuff right here. And I cut it into strips, and then you can just scrape that across the wet paint. And every decorative scissor you have would give you a different design. And so I just made up a bunch of these with all my scissors, so I would have them. And they're useful, but they're just kind of like thrown in there all cattywampus, and they really need to be in like a little sleeve or envelope or case or something so that I can actually find them when I want them instead of it just being a big hodgepodge. Oh, another spatula with a little pink design on there. I have, did I bring them in here? Maybe I'll go get them. I have a basket of tools that, I'll go get them. So this little cup is just filled with these silicone brushes. This is an actual store-bought artist grade catalyst by Princeton. What are they called? Catalyst, they're just called catalysts, but they're like a silicone thing you can use it for encaustic painting. Any of these can be used in encaustic because they're silicone, which is a hot wax type of thing, but you can use them with acrylics, oils, whatever you want. But I have them in here and not in the jelly plate box because I use them for other things. So, so that's why they're separate. And I'll use them for oil pastels, small ones for oil pastels and whatnot. And yeah, so if it's something I'm using in other art forms, then I won't keep them in this box. I want them to be handy for whatever I want to use them for. Oh, that's kind of fun. I've obviously used it or someone's used it, but that would be maybe for like wrapping paper or something. It's kind of specific. So I try not to get specific things, too specific for the gel plate, because I don't want it to look, I want to have the most versatility in the smallest amount of space. Now this, I'll probably donate that because, I mean, it's cute, it's a little train, but I can't imagine I'm going to use that for anything, so I need to have a donate pile. I guess I'm going to start a donate box. I mean, I don't know if anyone will want it, but Sun and Moon, I might want to cut those two apart, but I'm not going to do that right now. But that might be a good idea. Oh, here's another handmade thing. So you can get these foam stickers. Sometimes you'll get like a big bin of foam stickers. They might be alphabets or like stars, or this is snowflakes. I took a couple of the snowflakes, stuck them together, and put them on a little scrap of plexiglass because then I can do like a snow pattern for wrapping paper or Christmas cards or whatever. So that's, maybe I should separate them by size or something. Another little design. I like that. I like anything like that. Anything you can repeat. Those designs are great on a jelly plate because by the time you've repeated something and you've added colors and you've added stencils, the original design is often not that noticeable. I mean, a train would be pretty noticeable, but a design like this wouldn't. And in case you don't know what a jelly plate is, let me just show you one. I realized that, oh, maybe you don't know. This is a brand new one, actually, because I accidentally bought the same size twice, but I really like having a bunch of them going at once. It's a clear, and my other ones are pretty sketchy looking, so I'm like, I'll show you this one. I bought this at the stamp show because I wasn't ordering it from home. I bought it at a stamp show. They are just these clear discs, and they're squishy, kind of like gelatin. In fact, you can make your own out of gelatin. and it's not quite as durable, but you actually get a better impression from homemade ones. It's just kind of a pain to make them and keep them going, but because you use gelatin. These are made out of mineral oil. But anyway, it's a printmaking plate, so you roll paint on it, and then you can put stencils in it. You can, you know, press textures in it. It's just a really fun thing. I have some tutorials on it, but I mean, there's lots all over the internet. I'm still finding more of my little handmade guys there. Oh boy, more tools here. I've got, oh, this was a spatula that I had in my kitchen, but the end broke off. So I thought, oh, it's silicone. This will work. I can use this in my art room. So I did, and we got another pastry bless. This is better probably just for making texture on the plate, like a fresco type plaster texture on the plate. It's kind of sticky. I think I must have got some resin, so uncured resin on it. So I'm not sure if I would use that. I think that one could be donated. Oh, another Atomic Era stencil. Oh, this little frog. That's kind of fun. I don't know if I'll keep this. Oh, it feels like the rubber has kind of gotten hard. This is another one of those t-shirt ones. I'm gonna go put it with the other t-shirt one for now, but I might get rid of that one. It's cute, but I don't see myself using it, so better to give it away while it's still useful. I also have some plastic palette knives here. These are kind of good if you're using paint that's in a jar, like, oh, you know, sometimes you get acrylics in bulk, you get the big jars of it, so you can just scoop a little bit out without getting everything messy. Or maybe you want to, like, maybe you're embellishing your gel prints and you want to use some texture paste, you could scoop in here. But I don't know if, I mean, I have so many of these, but I think these might be better off to be put with my other palette knives. I don't know. I always think about doing a class too. That's kind of a little cutesy and it looks a little dated, but again, when you have this repeated in a layer on a gel plate, I don't think that that's that big of a deal. And same with this, it looks kind of cutesy and dated, so, but then again, you know, you repeat it on a gel plate, it doesn't look that dated. Leaves are always good. Gears, oh, that's a stencil actually. That should be in with my stencils, so that's going to be reallocated to its normal place. Sun and moon, that could go. Ah, sponge brush. How is that doing in there? That doesn't belong in there. That needs to go elsewhere. Again, more handmade, more of these handmade guys. I should, you know, I think I had these in like a tin can at some point, kind of standing up like that, and that's a much better idea. And oh my word, how many of these did I make? Maybe I did a class on them. I also have some paper that I corrugated, because you can press that in a plate and make some cool textures. So paper textures, maybe I'll just put them on the texture pile for now. Oh, that's kind of cute. Sometimes I'm like, have I even used that? Why? It does look like I've used it, but it's like, why? Because it's been buried, because I've got too much in this bin and it's too hard to find what I need. This one's kind of cool. This is, again, one of those rubber t-shirt stamps, but it's got a nice, basic, easily repeatable design. And I like that. And I like how it's cut around so I can see exactly where it's going to go down, or at least get a good idea of it. Oh, a little lizard. That one's pretty cool. I got some stars. That I would use that. More handmade snowflakes. I think I need to divide these by size. I'm really thinking about getting rid of the flowers, though. Holy cow, I got more of these. I don't know why I have so many of these. Oh my gosh, more baby blocks. Here you can see I stamped buttons. I pressed them into some, actually threw some buttons on the table and pressed them into buttons. And that made the coolest stamp. These are just some more, they're just bath blocks, really what they are. And they're handy. And I apparently have plenty of those, but I'm going to keep them because I don't know if you can get them anymore. You used to be able to, but I think you might not be able to get them anymore. Or they might be expensive. They're probably bad for the environment, you know, to keep making them. This was a little pouncer. I think I used it to make polka dots. This is very low quality though. I don't know where it came from, but it's like, see how flimsy that is? It's fine for pressing onto a gel plate, but it's not really good for anything else, so that can stay in here. I've got a bigger handmade snowflake. Another Dollar Tree spatula. Oh boy. You can make all your catalyst tools, but it is kind of hard to cut them nicely, maybe just for me. Another feather. I was looking for this other feather, when I was printing the other day, and I was so bummed that I couldn't find it, and just some basic shapes. When you're starting out and you're thinking about getting into printmaking or anything, stamping, anything, get the basics. Get the basic, most generic shapes, because they're the ones that are going to be the most versatile. And I know they're not exciting, but they'll pay off. So this little silicone spoon, it came in like a set. I think there was like a set of silicone spatulas, and I just needed some regular small spatulas to, to like get into small jars, like, you get jam, or you get, a lot of times when you're buying like vegan versions of things, they come in smaller jars, and so you can't use a big spatula to scrape them out, so you get everything. So I got this little set, and it had like three spatulas that I wanted, and 3 weird things that I didn't really want. But again, everything has art supply potential, and we've got more. I think I might have cut this one short. Yeah, I cut this one short so I could get a different texture, and we've got a very low quality pick comb there that would not even get through my hair. I can't imagine anybody else. My hair is pretty fine. It would break in my hair, so I don't know who they were thinking when they made that. This was a brush that I accidentally didn't clean, but then I'm like, well, it's got a great kind of hairy texture. This would be really good for just dragging over gel prints for texture. I'm almost thinking that maybe I should take some cans and put these and these in like cans or jars, and then just maybe section off the box so I have foam stamps. I think I need to take cardboard trays or something and organize this stuff. I don't know why. Why are these in here? Jenga blocks. I use these to mount like sentiment stamps on. They shouldn't be in there. They need to go someplace else. I've got a little pile of things to put elsewhere. I don't know why I have this little soft brush in there. That must have just fallen in from something. Foam blocks. That's what that looks like. That's what the label on that looked like. It was from the Dollar Tree, I'm pretty sure. I don't need that. And again, more homemade stamps. More homemade stamp. That was with waste from something else. Might have been waste like pop dots, like adhesive dots or something. I'm like, there's a good stamp. I should probably trim the plexiglass a little bit more, because I know I'll get like extra stuff. A little Chinese character. Another leaf. More foam blocks. We got the foam blocks, baby. I'm going to go put them in the foam block pile. Yeah, maybe I do have more than I need of those. That's really cutesy. That's not really my style. That can be donated. I'm thinking maybe I will just donate all those little cutesy flowers, because I used these actually when my kids were little with acrylic paint, and I decorated their high chairs. They had wooden restaurant style high chairs, and I did like little designs on them. So I don't know. Part of me is thinking, oh, that's a cute memory. Part of me is also thinking that, really, am I going to use them again, though? If I'm not, there's no use in keeping them. More snowflakes. Maybe I need to divide them by theme, like put all the snowflakes together and bring those out, put any like thing that's kind of Christmassy together and grab them out when I'm doing Christmas. I think that makes sense, and then I could put the Christmas stencils with those. I don't know. Let's put those somewhere else, though. They don't need to be right front and center. Block sleeves. Oh my goodness, more of these foam things. I probably will just keep these in a jar, because, and then if I do a jelly printing class, and I can just kind of throw a bunch on each table, because, I mean, nobody's going to want these as a donation, and they would just be trash in the landfill, and I actually could use them in a class, so just hang on to them. Stripes, that's a good design. I can't believe how much is in here. More cheap combs. Look at this one. This is actually really cool, but it's been buried, so I can't even see it. So that's not great. Another palette knife. I'm surprised at how sticky some of this stuff is. You know, it's like it's acrylic paint. It shouldn't be that sticky. Oh, tons of little handmade snowflakes, and I think I die cut that flower and made a stamp with it. Yeah, I think I'm going to divide by theme. Oh, cute little whale. I don't think I'm going to use that. I think that might be donated. Cute little acorn. That one I might use with the leaves. Yeah, I might use that with some leaves. More little flowers from when the kids were little. That little frog. I probably won't use a little frog. I don't know. I'll put it with the other frog. Another little flower. More bath blocks. I use gears on that one to make some stamps. That's such a fun technique. And you don't need to buy the expensive stuff for that. More of these guys. Jeez Louise. I don't know why I made so many. I must have done a class on it. That's all I can think of. Got a tape roll, tape roll for making little circles. Keep that. Oh wow! Look at this. It's a wood graining tool. This is cool. So you just drag it and rock it in the paint, and it makes wood grain. That's really awesome. It looks like it had a handle at one point. Maybe a sponge brush handle would fit in there. It's a little too big. I think I have a dowel I could put in there if I wanted to. That one, maybe I will put a handle on that. I don't know. That's cool though. I forgot about that. A little border stamp. Oh, that's a nice one. Just a nice big foam stamp there. A little Cupid. Okay, those guys are going in the donation. I'm not going to use those. Sometimes you just have to, you know, you just have to make a decision. These little tiny guys, a little crab, little sea guys. I don't need those. Those can go in the donation. They're cute though. We got a leaf and a sun. I don't know. I have a fatigue. Another bath block. I don't need so many bath blocks, but I don't know if I can get them anymore, so I'm kind of hesitant to get rid of them. The butterfly's kind of pretty. Bath block. More little pouncers. These little pouncers for polka dots. Yeah, I totally forgot those were in there, so that's not a really great thing. I'm not going to keep that. Some things I just know I'm not going to use. Oh, I love to use leaves and things like that, so that's good. And, oh, we're getting to the end. So what else do we have in here? We've got more snowflakes. We've got dragonfly. That's really pretty. Another foam brush and a chapstick. And the chapstick I will use, I know, how nasty does that look? If I have a tube of paint that is like really difficult to get on and off, I will run this around the threads of the jar or tube or whatever, and it just kind of lubricates it. So that is more of a that probably shouldn't be in there. And then I'm just gonna dump the crud out of here, and then we're gonna figure out how we're gonna organize all this. All right, I took a bit of a break and I cut down some of these boxes, and I figured that I'm gonna just organize stuff into these trays, and I'm gonna stack the trays inside of my the big box over here. So the first thing I want to do is get first, let's make sure I find something that's, oh gosh, I might put those in a, I don't know. But let me get started off with the stamps. Maybe stamps could go in here. I basically want I want these basic shape stamps to be together. Maybe I'll keep all the smaller ones together, but let me get the big basic ones together, because I'm much more likely to use big patterns, and I'm just going to put them on their ends because I think I'd be able to see them a lot better. I mean, I have a good idea of what I have. I just need to be able to access them a little bit better. And I think if they're on their end, that would be all right to keep up with. And I like, actually, these are all going to fit in here. That one, I'm not sure if I'm going to cut that one apart or not. I love shapes like that, and leaves. And I've got such a mess here. And I think it's relatively full that that they'll kind of stay on their ends, and I'll be able to keep seeing everything. So that's the hope. Maybe it'll all fall terribly apart. Maybe I can put like another box in here for smaller. Oh, that's a good idea. Let me go see if I can find a smaller. Oh, you know what I can do? I've got cardboard cut out pieces, because I just cut out a bunch of these, because I cut the flaps off of those boxes. Oh, look, that's a flap from that box. I just need some duct tape, and I'll tape that right in there, and then that will work. See, there's so many beautiful storage options, but I find that the best things to use are what we already have. And then if I decide in a few months that, oh, this really isn't working, it's just cardboard boxes. I can toss them out. Make it fit what you have. make it fit the things that you're trying to store. So I'll stick that in there. That's the perfect size because that was just the flap on there. I didn't put it in there perfectly, but that's fine. And get maybe I should give it a little bit more space. But then these smaller guys that I do want to keep, the little flowers and leaves that I think I want to keep. For anything, even if it's just for like memory's sake, because you know, I did the kids, this star could probably go in there. I did the kids' little, I don't know, that might be silly, but whatever, they can go in there for now. I can change my mind, and I can always get rid of them later. And then, maybe I will just throw those, I could make another little divider. Why don't I do that? Yeah. Make another little divider like that. That will work. And then our little snowflakes can go in there. And I would just grab out the whole like pile of snowflakes. Alright, snowflakes. There we go. I haven't really gotten rid of much, but all the foam stamps are right there, and I can just lift out that box when I want to use them. And I mean, maybe I'll tape that divider in there, but I think it's going to just hold in there by friction just fine. Okay, so the next couple things I want to do is texture things, and I think I'm just going to put all of this stuff right in this tray and set it on the bottom, because nothing in here is precious or terribly, let me throw these all in here too. None of these things are that precious. They can all just lay in there, and I can just set this out. You know what? Maybe I'll just put these in there. Yeah, why not? I can just lift out this, I can rummage through and get what I want. And I think that's going to work just fine. Yeah. And that will go, let's just put this right in here on the bottom. Voila. All right, so now texture things. I was thinking, and then I can set this right on top, and the lid's still going to fit. I wish I could zoom this back a little bit, but I can't with the way this is set up. And then I think maybe just texture things. Maybe I'll just put them in on the edge. Maybe I'll just make like a little envelope for them. What could I use? A file folder would work great. Let me see if I can find a file folder. Look at this. I have this piece of cardboard, and if I bring this over, I can put this in like that. So now if I cut this down, then that will be a perfect little slot for me to put those texture plates in. Or I could flip it over and actually have a floor to the texture plates, and I could lift it all out. So I just got to decide if I want to make it like a box or if I just want to make it like a little section. But I mean, I'll be able to get to everything, and that's really the important aspect of this whole project. I think I'm going to make it like a box that I can pull out of here. So first I need to I cut this one down to the height of the box. This is going to be just the back panel here, and I want to make this so I can just attach it. I'm actually going to cut this the same width. All right, I don't want to cut through my plastics. That's my plastic table cover, so that I don't get paint all over it. So I'm going to start by chopping. This down, and then I'm going to figure out how wide I need this to be. Think about like that. Whatever isn't perfect, duct tape will take up the difference, so I'm not worried about it. Okay. So now let's turn this into a little box with our duct tape. Like that or like that. I think I'll do it like that because it'll be easier to slide things in if there's not a gap. You know, if there's nothing for it to catch on the inside, that'll be good. I have so much duct tape from old projects. It's like, might as well use it up, you know? Eventually adhesive goes bad on things, so might as well make it work. All right. Yeah, and then we'll just put that in like that. Okay, so let's just run a strip of duct tape. I actually took a couple of breaks between filming, because I was kind of like, just wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. I had a cup of tea and a snack. Started some pizza dough. There, and having everything being able to be pulled out, I think will be good. And of course, you can take your time, you can make it beautiful. This is going to be closed, this box will be closed, no one's going to see what's inside of it except for me and anyone I'm gel printing with. So let's just see if this will fit. And here it should, because here we go. Now, let's put all these things in there, see if we can fit. I want to make it as easy as can be to get everything out. And I really don't want the box to pop open. Actually, you know what? Maybe I won't put that in there. Let's put those little stamps I made. And then anything flat, I guess I might as well put those stencils in there, because I don't really have room to put them in that box. Or I could actually just tuck them in the edge of the box there. I wish I could pull this out more. I mean, I wish I could pull the camera back a little bit more. And then I want to keep this. I can just live right on top of those foam stamps. And you know what I don't have in here though is the blocks. So that would fit on there. The lid won't exactly close on there, but I don't think that's a huge problem. Let me see if I can contain our blocks in here. If not, I could put the blocks in a bag and the bag could just sit on top. And do I need all these blocks? I probably don't, honestly, but it's really not a problem to keep them, because I just know me, I'm going to toss them in here. I'm going to want to toss them into something. So I just want to make sure they're, whatever I put them in is easy to toss them in. And I think a bag might be a better option. Yeah, because look at all that wasted space. I think I need to find a Ziploc bag. All right, I found this clear, well, it's clear on one side, Altenew bag. So what I'm going to do is actually just put those in. I think I'll take them out of this bag though, because I might as well have them loose in there, because I'm more likely to use them if they're just kind of loose in there. I'll try to put them as flat as can be, just so I can see what I have. Because I think that'd be kind of fun to like make a pattern with these, and hopefully they fit in there pretty good. I was just going to use like a kitchen Ziploc bag, but I didn't have any, so we used to buy them, but I make bread a lot, and we were putting them in there, and it just seems so wasteful, you know, to have such a thick plastic bag that you didn't really need. So I use the ones with the twist ties now. We had a bread box, like a plastic. We still have it actually, for like, and it's sized for like bread machine bread, and I make regular loaves. But the thing is, even when I was using the bread machine for that, it seemed like it would get moldy quicker, so I didn't like that. Alright, I just want to keep this in kind of one flat layer if I can. I've got a couple square blocks. Maybe I will not, maybe I'll just put those loose. I don't know. I like that size. I can stack a couple of the thinner ones maybe. I just want to be able to see everything basically. There. And then this can just rest on top, and I rolled up the the bubble wrap there, and it was Stationery Pal. There's a little sticker on the outside I saw, and I'm just tucking that in there. So when it's time to do gel printing, I just take the lid off, and then I can pull the trays out and leave this in here. And if I get more, like, sometimes I emboss a piece of cardstock and I throw it in, and I'll use it for gel printing. Those can go right in this little slot there, but it's going to be really easy just to set my trays of supplies out when I go to gel print. I can leave that right in the box if I want to, and then I can get to everything without it causing a big mess. And I think that's going to work. I think it's going to work for me really well. I hope you found this somewhat entertaining, or maybe give you a little bit of inspiration to tidy up one of your messy, scary drawers in your craft area. And where's the lid? We should put the lid on it and just make sure it fits. What in heck did I do with the lid? Oh, I don't know. It's around here somewhere. Oh, right here. It's back on the shelf where this goes, but let's just plop that right on there. Oh, it's so dusty. I'm so embarrassed. But yes, the lid fits. The lid fits. I know, it's bad recording. There you have it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.